Sarah, just 18 years old, intentionally parked her car in a handicap spot, showing no regard for those in need. But little did she know that this impulsive decision would forever alter the course of her life. Before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. It happened on a Saturday morning. She decided to go to the mall to do some shopping with her friends. She would meet her friends there. However, the troubles began when she arrived at the parking lot, where all the spots seemed to have been taken. But people visibly turned when she started to park in one of the few handicap spots near the entrance. First, there was a curiosity about who would emerge from a car like that. However, when they saw that an able-bodied person like Sarah got out of her car, their looks soon turned to one of disgust. One woman around her age tried to approach her, getting her attention. "You're not allowed to park there." "How do you know?" "I could totally be disciplined without you knowing." "Mind your own business, girl." The eyes of her other friends were quickly upon her, curiosity in their eyes, waiting for Sarah to answer. "I agree. They should definitely make more parking spots," Sarah said in agreement before continuing. It was so ridiculous, especially with all those unoccupied spaces at the front. Jasmine's brow furrowed at her friend's words. "You parked in one of those handicap spots? Or did someone leave near the front and you just got lucky?" she asked. Sarah simply shrugged at the words. "I parked in one of those spots. It will be fine." They were disappointed in her. "Sarah, that is not okay. You understand that, right?" Jasmine said, her voice low and slow, as she hoped that Sarah would comprehend what she was saying. "It's fine, Jazz. Half of the people in the parking lot are only window shopping. I will actually buy something and keep the economy going." Jasmine had other plans. "We are going to move that car of yours. Let's go," Jasmine said, guiding her friend back to the parking lot. Sarah felt the need to dig her heels in the ground and resist Jasmine. She truly believed that it wouldn't be the end of the world if she were parked there for this one time. "The way you are acting is embarrassing, Sarah. We're going to move that fucking car," she said, striding off to the entrance with Sarah in tow. As Sarah and Jasmine burst through the mall's exit, the urgent blare of sirens cut through the chatter of shoppers. An ambulance was parked at an awkward angle, its rear doors flung open. Sarah's shiny red car was blocking the path to the emergency lane. Sarah watched, horror-stricken, as they maneuvered around her car. The patient on the stretcher, a young mother, was pale, her condition clearly dire. Bystanders shuffled, trying to give way, their eyes darting accusingly at Sarah. Jasmine hissed under her breath. "See what your selfishness causes?" She felt every delay a potential difference in the patient's survival. Rooted to the spot, Sarah's eyes followed the paramedics' every move, her own breath shallow. She watched them adjust their route, their eyes constantly checking the vital signs of the patient. Sarah's gaze lifted from the paramedics to meet the eyes of the crowd, many of whom had their phones out, lenses aimed at her car. As she plucked the ticket from the glass, the fine amount seemed to mock her. This piece of paper was a costly reminder that actions indeed had consequences. Jasmine's voice cut through the hum of the gathering crowd. "You see what your carelessness has done? You have to take responsibility now." The wail of a second siren announced the arrival of the police. They approached with a swift, purposeful stride, their eyes flicking from Sarah to her car, silently connecting the dots. The officer pulled out a notepad, while the older one began speaking to the paramedics. One officer approached Sarah directly, his expression unreadable. "Ma'am, do you understand why parking here was not just illegal, but dangerous?" he asked. Sarah could only nod, her throat tight. As he explained the legal ramifications of her actions, including the potential for her to be charged with obstruction, the crowd's videos had hit the internet, and within minutes, her red car and the subsequent emergency were being viewed by thousands. Sarah's face was suddenly everywhere. Comments piled up, each one a judgment. Her mistake had gone viral, immortalized in the annals of social media. Before Sarah could even begin to process the legal implications, her phone buzzed with a message from a friend. "You're on the news!" Her heart sank as she clicked on the link sent to her. The local news had picked up the story, and there she was, her distraught face beneath the headline. "Teen blocks emergency services." With every share, like, and comment, her story was reshaped into a narrative she no longer controlled. "You're going to apologize to everyone publicly," Jasmine decreed. The group of friends who had gathered for shopping were now in retreat. One by one, their distancing was a silent agreement with Jasmine's ultimatum. Jasmine lingered a moment longer, her expression one of mixed emotions. "I hope you learn from this." Sarah stood in the emptying parking lot, the sounds of the ambulance and police cars fading into the distance. She looked at her red car, now a shackle of shame. Sarah's parents stood in the quiet of the living room, the paused image of their daughter's car blocking an ambulance frozen on the screen. Sarah's excuses died on her lips, the shame rendering her mute. Her parents' shocked silence was a clear sign of their heartache. The verdict was swift. "You're grounded," her mother declared. "No more nights out. No car, no phone, except for emergencies." They outlined the terms with a sternness Sarah had never experienced before. Sarah nodded, recognizing the justice in their punishment. Her father's next words cut deeper than any grounding could. "We're selling the car." It was a dream, a symbol of her independence, now a casualty of her recklessness. Watching the car being driven away by its new owner, Sarah felt a hollow ache. The money, her parents informed her, would not be returning to their pockets. The proceeds from the car's sale were donated in full to a local charity dedicated to helping those with disabilities. Finally, her parents had one more stipulation. "You will volunteer at the disability center," her mother stated. It wasn't a discussion. As she walked into the center for her first day of service, she felt the weight of her past actions. This was her chance to atone, to contribute, to learn from those she had once overlooked. She was greeted with smiles from faces she didn't expect to be so welcoming. As she was introduced to individuals, some in wheelchairs, others with canes, she listened to their stories. Each person shared their journey, marked by challenges she had never imagined. It was a humbling introduction. Each story chipped away at the wall of ignorance Sarah had built around herself, revealing a diverse spectrum of human experience and the arbitrary line between ability and disability. Sarah's newfound commitment to the center was quickly noticed, and she was given a significant responsibility: to organize an upcoming fundraiser. It was her chance to contribute positively. During one of the fundraiser planning meetings, Sarah was introduced to a family she had not expected to meet, the very ones affected by her thoughtless parking that day. The mother, whose ambulance had been blocked, was there with her husband and daughter. Sarah's heart clenched as she faced them. The family spoke softly but frankly about the day of the incident. The mother, still in recovery, shared how Sarah's car had delayed her treatment, causing complications that could have been avoided. Sarah listened, tears brimming in her eyes as the family shared their struggles. When it was her turn to speak, her voice was barely above a whisper. "I'm so sorry for what I've done," she said, her apology heartfelt and earnest. She promised to do whatever she could to support them, to make up for the pain she had caused. They spoke of forgiveness and the strength it took to face one's mistakes. Sarah's enthusiasm and dedication did not go unnoticed. Her initiatives at the Disability Center brought in new volunteers and donations, breathing fresh life into the community. She led campaigns, organized events, and spoke passionately about the center's mission. Donations poured in, exceeding all expectations, a testament to Sarah's hard work and the community's belief in her vision. In the quiet aftermath of the fundraiser's success, Sarah found a moment to reflect. The mall parking lot, where her journey had taken its dramatic turn, seemed a lifetime away.